I've been playing Minecraft since way back in February of 2011. I was a freshman in high school and one of my friends told me about this cool building block game that I needed to try. So I went home and pirated it on my single core Toshiba laptop and booted it up in the little window at a solid 12 to 15 FPS to see what it was all about. And I was instantly hooked. It was like no game I had ever played before. As somebody who mostly still played PS2 and GameCube, this kind of creative freedom in a video game was completely unprecedented for me. One of my first memories is building a little dirt hut and being scared to go outside because the sound of the spider freaked me out. I pretty quickly realized I was on an old alpha version and asked my mom to buy me the game. Once I downloaded it through the official launcher, I ended up on beta version 1.3. This is the first version that I really dug into and started playing. I remember starting a little Hamachi server with my friends and my cousin, and we had a lot of fun until one of them naturally griefed it and we had to start a new world. It took me losing another world after that before I learned to actually start making backups. Over the next few years, I started getting more into music and going out with friends, and I stopped playing the game for long periods of time. But it was always one of those games that kept me coming back to check in from time to time. Today, I wanted to walk you through a couple of the worlds I still have saved, the earliest one dating back to 2015. So, without further ado, here are some of my favorite Minecraft worlds from over the years. Alright, so here is the first world I wanted to show everybody. This was a world that I started with my ex-girlfriend, my friend Ben, and my cousin, and it was around 2014 or 2015. I believe it was 1.7ish, 1.8 on the version, and we did it entirely in survival. It was my first world sort of coming back and playing with friends after taking a hiatus for a couple years since I had played the game back in beta. First thing I wanted to show off was my house. So if you saw the intro to this video, one of the screenshots I showed of my first ever house was this big sort of mansion in beta, beta 1.3. And this house, I remember when I started building this house, it was like the only thing I knew how to build, so I just built the same like massive mansion with the two side wings. And I had no idea how to add like any sort of depth to the houses, other than I guess I did this. I must have watched a YouTube video that told me to do this. So that's, you know, credit to me, I suppose. But yeah, it's pretty flat, but let's go in here. So over here, I guess I just added side rooms and I was experimenting with the furniture. I didn't really know how to do anything super crazy back then. I think one time back in beta, I watched a YouTube video that told me just put these fence posts down, put a pressure plate or whatever it was on top and do this for couches, and that's all I did. I didn't experiment with like any other types of wood or anything else really. And then this was the first version, I actually forgot about this. This was the first version that I learned about enchanting. And I'm very like stubborn, I'm set in my ways, so I was like, okay, this new feature, I'm not messing with all this seems stupid, all this fancy enchanting stuff, because I was a beta player. That was like the last time I really played the game. But my friend insisted, he was like, you have to learn about enchanting, it'll change the way you play the game. And I reluctantly did. I think he gave me some tools. So this was like, yeah, the first version I started learning about enchanting. I really hated the game after beta 1.8 released. I just never really got into any of this stuff. Dining room table, you know, nothing too crazy here. And an empty room. Cool. Looks like I didn't fill that out at all. I do remember this. So my bedroom for some reason has like a massive table in it and a couch. And then there's this map of this whole area here. This is a building, it's super cool. This triangle my friend built around it. We called it the Library. It was a library in the shape of an eye. I don't even know why we built that, but then he built that Illuminati triangle, whatever, and then we tore it down, but it's still on the map. It's my attempt at a bathroom. I don't know if it's much different than the beta bathroom, honestly, but it's got cauldrons, so that's fancy. And then up here, I'm pretty sure we have nothing. Yeah, nothing. Let's go down to the basement. Down in the basement we had storage room. I used to build this same storage room for years. I also learned about item frames in this version, which I thought were really cool apparently because I used them on everything. There's probably something offensive over here. Dried Jewish foreskin. Yeah, it sounds kind of, yeah. 2015. Yeah, here's all sorts of extra storage, mob drops and everything, and I think I used this just as an incinerator for items I didn't want. Yeah, I need to build one of those in my beta world. Oh man, that is a lot of glowstone. I didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah, I used to use these glowstone designs on the floor because I thought like, oh, this will look good. It'll light up the middle. Yeah, this thing is just gaudy as all hell. I didn't. I do not like it. I would not build that now. Okay, so the tools. So here's the first crack at these tools, and I have no idea what these names are gonna be. Hitler's pick. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Not much creativity there. So anyway, I remember we had this little map, and then we had these tunnels underneath, which I always thought were super cool to build the tunnels. And so there's one to Lauren's house, and then the other one to my cousin's house and Ben's house. And I remember basically Ben wanted to do a prank on Lauren, and he came over to her house right over here, and he took this entire like floor and he dug all the way down to the bottom. I think he used like a world filling thing. You can see it here. He used like a world filling thing to replace the stone. But when she came and she saw, you know, the floor dug out, he pushed her in and killed her. I remember she got so pissed off, and it was actually like kind of like a fight at the time. I'm looking back, it's like really dumb, but it was like, I don't know, it's kind of hilarious. But at the time, I was just like, ah, shit, like, you know, caught in the middle kind of thing. Over here, we come up to Jared's house, which is quite literally just nothing. It's just a floor, and yeah, that's about it. And then yeah, Jared would build a lot of these houses where it was just, I don't know, it was always like the same really weird flat design with glass and stuff on top. Very strange. I don't know. Kind of cool. Now I remember I had a dog over here that I named Mother Nature's Son after the Beatles song. I don't know where the hell he went. I hear barking. I don't see him. And then I built this house. And this house was based off of one of these. There was a world I lost back in one of the beta versions. And I built like a couple houses that looked just like this. I always really liked them. And so I just rebuilt this house. And it's pretty like generic. And I guess I have okay, I did have a way to go upstairs. Yeah, table. Item frames again. Learning about those, and a balcony. That's kind of nice. So over here, once we come to the back, I had a mine somewhere back here. I remember I had like this mining house, but I don't know where that went. I do remember this, the beacon. And I'll put a video in later. When we were going, I think the wither, right? You have to kill the wither to get something for the beacon. And there's this video of me and Ben fighting the wither because, like I said, I started this channel originally in 2014, and I was uploading like commentaries and like let's plays on this world when I started this channel. And then when I uploaded my beta video and that started taking off, I deleted all those videos, but I saved them on a hard drive, so I still have the footage, and I'm gonna put it in sparingly, censoring out some of the overly cringy stuff. This is the library, and I still think this building is cool as fuck, but I don't know, it's super weird building. All these books, and this building has like a really cool design from the top. But yeah, that's the library. So after that, there's this nether portal, which another build I thought was really cool at the time. I think Ben did most of this, but I helped do some of this, and we just kind of, he had the idea to like kind of make it, you know, like the hell was leaking out, which I guess is a generic idea, but I think it worked pretty well. I don't know what that tower is supposed to be. But yeah, then you had these like custom portals, and that's one thing I really miss in beta is like being able to resize the portals. So next area would be Ben's area, which I think was really cool. He had this, well, I think his barn looked incredible actually. I still think this barn looks really good. Like, see, he had figured out the depth. I had not at the time. And in the back he had these horses. God, it's loud as hell. And he had this thing that would play like the Zelda thing when you open it. Yeah, and I don't think he ever put anything there, but it would like open up this little... Yeah, see, like that. Alright, moving on. I remember he found this spawner here, and I think actually it was a zombie spawner. And, because I went back and I looked at the world, like the original world files. But he must have turned it to a skeleton spawner without me knowing. And I found out about that like literally like 2 years ago. I always hated people like cheating or like doing little hacks in the world. So I was like, did you do that? And I feel like you might have like, I don't know if he denied it or not, but yeah, I don't know. He just, he had made a skeleton spawner without me knowing. But actually, I mean, it worked out pretty well because it was pretty nice having all the bones and everything. So I don't know. I reaped the benefits. All right, next thing is going to be Ben's house, base, whatever you want to call it. And right up here, I remember like starting a let's play like right here one time, I think going into Ben's base. It's almost nighttime. It's 4:11 in the morning. You guys still have not come to do adventuring with me. The sun is going down.
Sorry, John.
Deja vu. But right here we have, I like this hallway with the pumpkins and the enchanted stuff. Can I get this? Nah, it just destroys it. That went down to the tunnels, I think. This was some sort of chicken frying situation. He was always doing stuff like this over here. I was playing like super basic at the time. I didn't want to learn anything about farms or automation or enchantment or anything, and he was always learning new stuff and convincing me to do it. And then, oh yeah, I remember these golems because it was like Mr. Black, Miss Pink, Mr. Gray, Mr. White. And these were always hanging out around his house. There's a secret room with a dragon egg. I remember that. Remnant of 1 to 19. Mr. Wiggles saddle. Hawkminer's Sheetsy diamond. Greasy Enderball. Greasy Ender testicle. Well, at least he shook it up. Hawkminer was another guy we used to play with. I met him in my Twitch chat because I used to stream Minecraft over on Twitch, and he joined the server. And I remember he built like an ice base way out in this world, which I won't be touring because I guarantee I can't find it. But yeah, there were 2 people that we met on Twitch that would come in my chat all the time, and they ended up playing with us on the server, which was kind of cool. At the time, you know, it'd be like 10 or 11 viewers tops coming in. It was a small little community. It was real fun. Very good gaming memories. So this was, I built this boat, and there's a video there's a video of me complaining about it. I might put some of it in. And you can see my ship. It's a terrible, terrible ship.
It's not that bad, John.
It's a terrible ship. Look at that second flag. Ben did all the good parts of the ship. It's asymmetrical. That boat will not float. Okay, so if I come over here then, Lauren said that she could build a better ship than me. And I was like, no, Lauren, you can't build a better ship than me, even though I knew in my heart of hearts that she absolutely could, since that ship is shitty. And my boat just looks like a giant brown shitty turd next to hers. I built this boat, which is honestly not great. Honestly, the shape of the boat's not terrible, but the sails, I don't know what I was thinking. I just like gave up on the sails. I don't know if I even looked at a reference image for this, because this is like the laziest shit I've ever built. And my girlfriend at the time was like, oh, I could build a better boat. She comes over here. I don't know if she looked at the design or not, but she just absolutely smacked the fuck out of my boat. Quite literally blew my boat out of the water. And then, so this was Shay. This was this girl who played on our server that she would mod for me in the Twitch chat. Mod, I use the term loosely. I had like 5 viewers, but she built this lighthouse with, I don't know if Ben helped or not, or if she just built the lighthouse, but not anything too crazy. Big old lighthouse. Come up here on these lazily placed stairs and you get a nice view of the whole area. So next thing, we expanded this out. Lauren had her pets here. Pretty sure that was hers. And then there is the restaurant. I forgot about the restaurant. So Ben built the restaurant. It is Puntato's, the home of the oh so famous Puntato. And he built this horrifying looking potato. And on the inside it just has standard restaurant. Yeah, potatoes. Doesn't appear to be any potatoes. These are certainly not potatoes, but yeah. And then if you come over here, and we redid all of this like twice, I remember, because we came up with this, we were looking for like a good light post design, and we had to put these everywhere. So redid the whole world. Right here we have the rail system, and it really wasn't a far thing. I do remember building this, because there were squid swimming around in here, and it was like a cool little aquarium vibe. This goes on like a very basic cobblestone path all the way up to when I built this other house. And I remember there was a couple things we tried to put here. So we tried to put like a giant archery target here, or a couple targets for like target practice or something, and we tore them down. I think I tried to build like a little village here and tore it down, and just nothing ever went here. But you would follow this all the way up to here. At the top, we had our houses. Now, somebody must have burned down Lauren's house at some point. These stilts honestly didn't seem like they had the proper support for the house. It is what it is. It looked nice at one point. And I built my house over here, and it was a weird block choice, but I fuck with this balcony. I like this balcony. And this block choice is, does this clash? I would imagine this clashes, right? Like, I think I was just trying, these blocks were newer, or at least new to me, and I was trying to find a way to incorporate these into the build, but they really didn't turn out great. I had like this open concept thing going on, and actually, yeah, I feel like this build is very simple. I didn't overthink stuff as much back then when it came to building. I kind of missed that, honestly, and I feel like this build actually looks pretty good still, other than maybe those andesite, whatever the hell they were, pillars. And of course the same storage room I always build is right here, and like a little thing to incinerate the items. So, next thing you come over here, and I remember my cousin built this birch house, which is really just the laziest build. Kind of looks like, I always thought birch wood kind of looked like just bird shit. And he kind of just made like a giant bird shit house. And this was Shay's house. Apparently she wants us to fuck off. And she had a dragon egg as well. I don't know, can you get more than one dragon egg? I'm not up to date on my Minecraft lore. Like, I don't know if they would have had to cheat that in or if you can just keep going and get them. Somebody tell me. This house always confused the hell out of me. It kind of reminds me of like Bowser's Castle in Mario Kart. But I guess she must have only got that far. Kind of a weird layout. Alright, so coming out of there, we start moving in to this area over here. I'm kind of going in like the order of how we built things, if I remember correctly. So we come over here, and I tried to build this castle, and I just gave up in like the most major fucking way. Like, this is like a tiny castle. I built like a cobblestone throne. I thought it would look good on the hill, but I also like didn't plan at all. And I didn't estimate like the space I would need to build like an actual cool castle, and so I wound up with this. Now over here, as I gotta remember this, it's here. So this is where I'll definitely put the video of us fighting the Wither. So back from like 2015.
Oh, here it is, over here. When he's half health, hold fly down, and this way you kill him with your sword.
I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'll do whatever.
Trust me, you got this. All right, you ready?
I have no idea what to do.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay. What am I supposed to do?
Wait, no, you have to wait till he explodes.
He looks really pissed off.
Yeah, he is pissed off.
Oh my fuck.
There you go.
Oh my, what the fuck is, what is happening? He's pissed! What the fuck is this thing?
Oh god, he's free!
He's
free!
free!
Oh, he's free! He's
What's
free!
he doing?
He's free!
I can't aim. Where's he going?
He's destroying the pigs!
Dude, he's gonna fuck up our town. Fuck, I need out, I need out, I need out. Let me away. Help, 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 help. Oh, I'm so weak.
Oh, we got him, we got him, we got him.
Oh my god. What was that shit, dude? He was so pissed. Ben was like, oh, this is fine. It won't be close enough to the city. And we came in here and we spawned the Wither, and I had no idea what to expect. I didn't even know what it was. So we started fighting the Wither. And he started getting loose and, you know, flying all over the place. I remember being like, oh shit, he's gonna go for the city. And yeah, I think he did some stuff here. Like, I'm pretty sure all this is probably like Wither damage. Like, he got pretty close. And I don't know, it's honestly like, it was a good video. I think it was a pretty solid video for back then. As much as I cringe to look back at the old stuff, like, it's pretty quality content. If we come up here, I believe this was Hawkminer's base, and it clearly got destroyed. And I'm imagining that might also be because of the Wither. And down here, what is this? Really bad TV, Hawk. Yeah, it's not the greatest TV. Okay, I think that's it for this area. And this is honestly it for most of the world. I think I had a mine somewhere. I'm not sure, like, I feel like it's over here. I want to see if I can remember where this is. Oh, yeah, there it is. So there's this mine, which, I mean, just went forever. I just come down here and I have like distinct memories of like the albums I was listening to at the time while I was mining all this stuff out. So the last things that I think I need to show on this server are, we technically started moving over this way, but not much got done. I remember we were looking for a, what is this, a mesa biome or whatever, and I think we just never traveled this way, and we like for some reason couldn't find one, and then it was like right here the whole time. So we finally traveled out this way a little, and I think this was before Elytra, so it wasn't that far of a distance, but kind of felt like further. We went through, yeah, we built this railway, which is like super sloppy. I tried to build like some old Western saloon right here and burned it down because I didn't like it. And then, wait, where's this go? Let's see how far this goes. Somebody lost their stuff here. So I think it's on the other side of the mountain right here. Yeah, I have a distinct memory too of, I was streaming Minecraft and on Twitch, and I was coming into this door, and these guys were talking about like raided by 4chan and, you know, spamming slurs and all this stuff, and I just like ended the stream because I was just like, okay, this is fucking stupid. In a hole in the ground there lived a panda. That was Hawkminer's skin, so this is Hawkminer's base. That's a pretty nice bedroom. Drinks, water, milk, chocolate milk out. I guess he put a restaurant in here, Hawk Kitchens. Kind of an odd location for a restaurant, but yeah, I won't criticize it too hard. I remember too in this world we built this like end farm. That Ben showed me the design from YouTube, I think. We built up this end farm, but then I think I was transferring the server from like Spigot to regular, so I don't know, something like that, and I lost the end world file, and it was like just a huge amount of work lost. Kind of sucked. I think I have a video of that too. I might put that in. So here we are. Ben built all this lovely design leading to the farm. Here's the big thing. I think it looks awesome. What's that called, Ben? Platform?
Yeah, it's the platform.
Looks like a giant upside down dick drilling the ground with watery blue cum spewing out of the sides.
The way this farm works, there's a platform at the top, which we just mentioned, right? And pretty much there's an endermite at the top, and endermen are attracted to the endermite as long as the player is far away. So the endermen are all attracted to the endermite, and they're pretty much just they're attracted to it. So they walk by a hole, and then they fall in, and then bam, and this all brings them down to 1 heart. So if we hit them now, it's an instant kill. But yeah, the best part about this is as you see, John, there's some TNT up here.
I see.
And if I go ahead and light the TNT, let me take a step back. Let's step back so they see the XP. Ooh, look at all those buns.
And watch it. Just watch it flow. It gets wild here for a minute. Oh yeah, soak it up, baby. Look at this. Look at these levels. I feel like I'm gonna have a seizure. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this world. Next, I'm gonna show you guys a world that I started in 1.12 with a different group of friends, and honestly, probably my favorite world out of the 3 I'm gonna show you today. So stay tuned. Alright, so World 2. This was a world that I started in 1.12 with my friend Archer, his girlfriend. Ben was on this world again, and there was a couple other people on this world, friends. I think my cousin might have popped on at some point. So a lot of people on and off this world over the time we played on it. This was a really cool version, really cool world. If I had to go back to a more modern version of Minecraft, I would choose either 1.12 or 1.16. I didn't like when 1.12 changed to 1.13 because of the performance issues, and 1.16 to 1.17, and then of course the 1.18. All sorts of changes to the world generation that I just didn't like. So this is like, for me, a really good balance of modern and old Minecraft. This area is actually the spawn area, and it's also where I decided to build for some reason, right on top of spawn. Did not think about how annoying that would be, and also having people spawn in on my world, not knowing if they mess with my stuff, was probably not my best decision. This area right here, actually, somebody, as a joke, one of my friends tried to build a little thing right here, and I was like, that's my land. And he's like, well, technically I'm not griefing anything. So we had this big fight over at this courthouse over here, and he won my sword off of me, and he's Scottish, and his ping was so much higher, and he beat me in a way I should not have been able to lose, and I just absolutely choked. And every time he'd say, you like my sword? I wanted a duel. To start with, these 2 houses I built because I was trying to fill this area, and I actually looked up a tutorial for these 2 houses. This is the only time, possibly ever, other than like a machine or a farm, that I've copied a tutorial block by block. And they're pretty cool houses, but again, I didn't come up with anything. I couldn't find a way to make a very detailed building that would fit in this little area, so I just looked it up. They look really good in the space though, so I don't know if I regret it. These, I actually looked up a Google image, and I found somebody in Minecraft had made similar houses, and I eyeballed it and made something very similar. So these weren't like a straight rip-off, and I think I made these to be like almost like side-by-side condo 2-family kind of deals. And I had like a washroom in the basement area, and then I was going to build up here like a bedroom, a living room, and kind of divide these up into like a joint attic, I think. But I never got that far before we quit the world. So this is the house that I started with on this little hill before I built anything else. Very flat. Again, I got a little better at depth here, it looks like, with the roof and stuff, but yeah, very flat. Although the detail on this house actually looks pretty good, I feel like. And the interior, I still think holds up. I think this is a very solid interior. At the time, I wasn't building a lot of stuff unless it was like purpose built. So to do all these rooms that actually kind of felt like a real house layout was kind of out of my depth. Moving on to the basement, you'll notice a theme. I always build this kind of storage room, and I have my incinerator here. And then this was literally just for fun, completely pointless because, I mean, I wasn't ever going to turn this off and have mobs spawn down here, but I kind of liked it, having a little light switch there. And right here we had this secret little button, which will come down here to my mines. And then also my enchantment room, the nether, which I actually haven't checked out yet. I'm curious what's going to be in there. And then I had, well, little bitch, dog Zubity. I had a cat named Shakespeare, and you know how when you have pets, their names just kind of morph into like a mishmash of sounds? We called him Shake Zubity, and so this is the dog version of him. And Mother Nature's son, just like my other dog on the other server. So I had this wheat room, and I doubt this still works, but at the time you could do this, and all the wheat would pop off, and you flip it back on, and put everything back on. So it was like a really quick, kind of clean way to do that. Coming out of here, we had my barn area. Nothing too fancy. And a ridiculous amount of sheep, which were always annoying. Always had to turn those down. A couple chickens, couple cows, and I had Shake Zubity the magical horse. And I stole this horse. I stole this horse from Kimmy. Kimmy was somebody who played on here, and I did indeed steal this horse from her. And then, let's go down here first. So I built my New Pepperland Church of Christ, and this was probably one of the first time I was using like dyed glass. I don't remember what version it came out in, but it must have been newer at the time, or if it wasn't, I certainly hadn't used it. But yeah, just a nice little church. I always like building churches in the worlds because, I mean, they're just cool. Architecturally, just cool as hell. And this is the train station, the New Pepperland train station, and this goes over to Tide Pod Terminal. My friend this was when the Tide Pod memes were all the rage, and he made himself this girl named Tide Pod Chan. It was some sort of skin he'd found online, and he pretty much made this whole railway terminal based around Tide Pod Chan. It was a weird time, so we'll take the ride. And here we are arriving at Tide Pod Terminal. As you can see, the signature Tide Pod colors are right here. And you go through here, and it just takes it and puts it down there. Pretty cool. He did more work on this than I did. I think the last thing he was working on was some sort of mass storage system behind his house. And I'd imagine there's some complex redstone that I don't understand inside of here. I don't know if he had found a tutorial for this or was working on it himself, but all this stuff is beyond my pay grade. I don't mess with this stuff. His house right here was, he had this idea. He told me his concept. It was something about an ever-expanding mansion where he kept adding rooms on that he had read about or something. This guy, Corporal Henry Tide Pod, was the husband of Tide Pod Chan, and he fought a great battle over at New Pepperland back in the day. And let's see, you can still see his grave right here. That's the remains. Pretty sad stuff. So inside Archer's house here, he had Lemon the llama. And this really nice living room. Dank Memes the dog. See, upstairs, Mr. Skeletal. I don't know, I guess he just didn't expand this out too far. So yeah, moving on, let's go back towards the beginning here, and I'll show you Ben's lighthouse. Yeah, this thing was pretty cool. He would go in here, and it had this really annoying way of getting up. You'd have to like come in here, and I think you press this thing. But see, I'd always get stuck like this. I could never pull this off. And then I'd have to wait for it to stop and then hit it again. But it went all the way up here, and there's all these different levels, which just feels really like counterintuitive, but I guess it's fun at least. I like that design though. I like the design a lot. Ben always had cool little designs, and yeah, again, don't know how much of this is copied off of stuff online, but it worked well in the world. So over here, I was trying to build some sort of hotel. It almost looks like a similar design to my hotel in Back to Beta. I feel like this was unnecessary complicated, but I was trying to shake the blocks up. I feel like they just clash a little. And I must have never finished this, or if I did, this world file is a little bit older. I was going to build like a statue somewhere in the middle here, and I never got to that. But I remember flattening this whole area out, and it took quite a while to flatten and get this land the way I wanted it. This was the town hall we were building, and I built this part, and then I couldn't figure out how to tie the roof together. So Kimmy helped me and built this tower on top, and we never finished the interior. And over here, two of our other friends, Brittany and Cody, played. I remember one time when we first started this server, Archer put a bunch of bombs underground, like TNT things that would set off randomly, and he talked about how he hid them, or maybe he just made them think that. But yeah, I just remember him talking about that and them being nervous to walk around certain places around here. I don't know what this is, I'm gonna be honest. obviously some animals underneath, but this is just a strange base all around. And somebody else agreed, I don't know who put this here, but it says that the police have warned that the base has an autism level that's too high. Please make the necessary changes. And they didn't. So, moving on, there's Tide Pod Terminal. And there is Kimmy's area. Kimmy went for sort of a modern design. I remember she laid this part out on graph paper, actually. And I thought that was a cool way to do it, because I hadn't seen anybody do that at the time. And then there's this little train station. I really like this area. It's like pretty simple color palette wise, but it works really well. Just looks very clean, very nice. Some furniture, some dogs, upper level, little loft. And then heading down to the beach, she had this little area here. And it had these little things holding this up. Pretty cool. Alright, so what I want to see though is if there's anything cool in the Nether. Oh, this is absolutely not the original Nether file. I feel like there was somewhere the Nether would take us to where we made like a huge mob grinder. But I'm not going to be able to find that because we must have deleted the original Nether file. Alright, so now I'm coming up on the last thing, or at least the last thing that I remember where it is in this world. And this was a amusement park Kimmy was working on right around the time we quit the world. I think she looked up the design for the Ferris wheel. And then she was building this little thing right here and some concession stands, looks like. Yeah, tickets for the Ferris wheel. This felt really far out at the time. I think it's because I never messed with Elytra. So I was like, we're only out like 1,000 blocks, but it just felt like a really long time. And there's this little roller coaster. I'm not sure if it's even functioning, but let's try it. Yeah, I think she forgot some powered rails. Oh, and there's a little maze, a little hedge maze. Hold up. I did it. Okay, so that's World 2. Probably not as in-depth as the first world, but in some ways more memorable for me. I played on this world a lot. At the time I was watching Evo SMP, and I have a lot of memories of that time. It was kind of a rough time, and this was like a really good escape for me. Next I'm going to show you our last world. It was in 1.16, I think we started it, and we followed it through to like 1.17, right before the major terrain update. And it's the last SMP that I played on before I started my beta single player world and then did the back to beta videos. So stay tuned for that. Alright, final world. So we started this world in 1.16 and our friend Claire built this spawn area. Got a little enderman with a nether portal in it. Not too much else going on here. So over this way, I believe they tried to build some sort of a Barbie dream house and never finished it. I don't have much to say about that. Barbie Dream Horse. And then this was another little area Claire had built, and I think she initially was living here, but then for some reason decided to move to spawn and also make the spawn hospitable to everybody. I'm not sure what the thinking was there, like sharing her base with spawn, but I mean, I kind of did it in the last world, so I can't really criticize. This might also be a good time to check out my armor names here. So I have my helmet, TM, Apollo 11, skinny jeans from Forever 21. They're very comfortable. And my Converse, of course. And then, you know, you got your weapons, like you got your ass eater, you got your silky ass eater, of course your tree fucker for fucking trees, gravel getter, that's pretty self-explanatory. The ass annihilator, as opposed to the ass eater, one annihilates the ass and one eats it. So that's the major difference there. And Noah Tom's jacket. That's just an inside joke. Onwards and upwards, we have my cousin's house. And if you'll remember in the first world, he built kind of a similar design, except he sort of upgraded it now. So he's still doing this like alternate wood stacking situation. He always does that, but it's a little less glass now, a little less stout, and it's more of a well-rounded house. And he had this little underwater bridge thing, I guess, but it kind of went to nowhere. So over here was just a run-of-the-mill zombie spawner. Zombie spawner, sorta. And if you drop down here, you just had a basic setup. Nothing too crazy. Stuff dropped. I think hoppers sent it into these chests. And then we had storage here. And we had these bubble elevators, which are so nice. I miss them so much in the beta versions. And over here we have my girlfriend's house. And we left her signs. You got, of course, Minecraft Steve's friend was here. Duh. Minecraft Steve was here. Smiley face thing. Minecraft der. And I really can't object to any of that. And then she always likes to build doors to nowhere. So these are doors to nowhere. See, Elytra kind of fucked up the game because, like, we all built pretty far apart because we knew we were all going to get Elytra within like a week anyway. And, you know, paths become kind of pointless. So we end up just flying like literally everywhere. Although I will admit, I kind of miss zipping around with the fireworks. Coming up this way, we're getting to where I built my base. And I had this big skeleton spawner over here. Very gaudy. I love the glowstone. Lay it on thick. You drop down, and there's the skeleton spawner. Same basic design, and of course the bubble elevators that we all love so much. This always bothered me because it's like off-center. And I couldn't do anything about it. And this is just the stairway leading up to it that we never used because we were always flying around. And then over here I started building this railway system because I ended up kind of missing railways and lamenting the flying. And this went over to my slime farm. So down here in the slime farm there was like all these layers I had to carve out, and these rails would bring it under the use, little lava block things, and drop all the slime balls into here. I remember making this thing. It was pretty fun. And there's just all these... Dude, I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm fucking up. But yeah, lots of layers. Took a while. Alright, so flying over to my base. This is on top of my base. And the update, wherever they released the bees. I don't remember which update it was. Some variation of 1.16, I think. I decided I needed to start learning the new features as they came out. So I made this little bee area, and I was messing around with the bees up here. But I forgot everything I learned. I just remember collecting honey and messing with this. Anyway, let's enter my base from the front. So I was working on a pathway here, and I remember building this barn in creative and then redoing it here. And I had all these skeleton horses that kept showing up. Minecraft Steed. See, it's a play on Minecraft Steve. And right here at the front of this, I actually like took a while to I was trying to learn how to terraform, so I built this arch. Turned out pretty good. And you got your American flags, of course. Gotta represent. And here's my area. This way went to the storage room. That's outside. That's the mine shaft. And this was the enchanting room. And then Archer built this thingy for me so I could hide all my stuff. I had all these cool books. And we had this heads mod where it would drop all these cool heads. You could wear the heads, which was nice. I liked wearing the heads. Oh yeah, and I was just stacked with emeralds. All my totems and my emeralds and my diamonds. So then over here, I started taking a different approach to storage rooms. And this goes right back up to where we just saw. There's like a bubble elevator, and if you drop... There's somewhere to drop down to a mine. I can't remember. Somewhere around here. But, of course, I had all my storage area, furnaces, this cool polar bear guy. And then my friend made this one. He's fucking with me. He was like, I'm living in your walls. I do like this feature because you can just like swim around and people look so stupid. So going down, I did a couple things down here. Oh, this is how I got to my mines. And then I built this run-of-the-mill. Well, actually, I built this thing, the cow thing, where you keep giving them the wheat and then they die because they get all like overstuffed in there. And I built this wheat farm, very run-of-the-mill, standard, nothing too crazy there. And here's my nether room. There's nothing really interesting in this nether, but I think they added these in 1.17, so this is like right at the end. I built this nether room when we updated. Down the hallway, we have one of my favorite bedrooms I've ever built. I really, really like this interior. I think this turned out so cool. And then we had a mod, or like a game rule, that took away the phantoms. I fucking hate phantoms. I think phantoms are one of the worst mobs there is. So then I put these as a commemorative thing, the last piece of shit phantom membrane ever. And then I have my dogs, red, white, and blue. I know, so creative. And then, as I told you in the last world tour, I had my cat, Shake Zubity. So I had Shakes Tubity and Shakes Threebity. So then over here, I built this cool sugarcane farm. And it was like, the rails came and they collected all the sugarcane and they did this thing. And there's a switch to turn it off and the wire ran like all the way to the back of it. But this is what it looks like on the inside. Lots of sugarcane, and there's like a flying machine down there. I love watching that thing run. And you got your sheep. It's a little inhumane, honestly, but these things just like sit there and then like they eat the grass and it triggers a thing and then it clips their wool. That goes down below, rail system, and it collects into this. And that thing was just stacked. Getting materials honestly became too easy in this version. And then of course you have the slave den. And I had all my slaves with I was trying to get like every book, or at least every important book, every book I thought I'd use to make like stacked armor. I had like oh yeah, there was like Butt Baby, and then Butt Baby had a He had a baby and then got butt baby's butt baby. And there was like Trace's gay lover, Effie for female representation, which is important. Oh, and then here's Mr. Tubby Fat Buns. He's an important guy. He always carries that egg. So moving forward, if we walk over this way, fly, we have the modern house. I cleared this out and it took forever. I made this house in creative first based off of a Google image, and then I built it in the game. So if we walk in here, we got this lovely kitchen. Very pleased with the interior here. There's so many options. And that's one thing I miss in beta, is having options like this. Like, these look good. Item frames with like the little wool or whatever. And my living room, of course, you gotta have the big screen TV. And that chandelier I did copy block by block off a tutorial. And maybe the table? I don't know, I might have just made the table, I can't remember. The end rods made the lighting look very fancy. And I never really finished the bedroom. And then there was a bathroom here. Never put anything in the bathroom. But there's a cool balcony. And over here is Archer's area in this world. And he had like a whole pagoda situation going on. And there's like these little side like waterways. Not much going on here. I like this little bed on the floor. That's kind of cool how it's like set into the ground. What's this say? See, no entry, historic landmark. Well, I won't go in then. I think he's making like some sort of restaurant here, had the little steam coming out. And over here we had a storage area, United Bukkake Bank and Trust. You go down to the bottom here, and he had some sort of redstone going on. Yeah, slick. I feel like that might have been an Etho design. Oh yeah, Kimmy was built in, God, I wish I knew which country it was. It might have been Denmark. I don't know. It was one of those countries. And she was trying to build this like dark sand beach, but there was like nothing for it at the time. Or there wasn't a good block to use. I don't know, but she didn't get super far on these. And she terraformed the land. You can actually see under it. Just kind of laid a big old flat layer on there. There's still a house under there. Out in the river, we had the mob grinder crusher spawner thingy, which was very important to the world. Always got to have one of these. This is not the most beautiful elevator though. Alright, and then this is the house of my friend who actually showed me Minecraft back in high school. And I gave him this rose. Like on the first day we were playing on the server, and he just put it in glass. Very important rose. He didn't get very far, but he has a bed and a cow head, so he's got his essentials covered. Alright, and then this is the last thing that I built in the world before I quit playing. And it was one of those iron farms. I found some sort of tutorial. I had to like take all the villagers and funnel them up out of this village and get them over here. And I remember there being a big pain in the ass thing. There was a zombie involved. I don't know, you guys probably know how to make these better than I do. And yeah, the golems would spawn up here, and they fall into this thing, and they get completely fucked like I'm getting right now. I'm stuck. Okay, I got myself out. Hold on. Alright, much better. So yeah, that's pretty much this entire world. And now we move on to the outro. Those were a few of the worlds that have made my Minecraft experience so fun and so memorable. If you made it this far, I thank you for sticking around until the end and exploring with me. This was a really fun video for me to make, and it brought me back so many good memories. If you liked what you saw, feel free to subscribe, and also check out some of my other Minecraft videos. Talk to you soon.